Click the links. You join the channel here over at Subscribestar. Thanks to everyone who has, especially Vegan. So Jack Goldman, Candace Owens, Eliza Bleu, and I guess that's one of her, pen names or not pen names, performance names. Like people have a whole string of names. I mean, usually, usually you only have one, and it might ping on the radar when people have different names for different websites and different, they're selling. I don't know. It's like it's just something that it's not nothing. And like, but people like having a performance name is not that unheard of. Also, like her father's a politician, she wants to kind of get away from that. Hey, that's fair enough. Like you don't want to be tied to somebody famous. And Elon Musk is also involved in all of this. So the right wing gets sucked into personality cults. Also, they do this bootstrap interview thing where somebody gets platformed, but the initial vetting never takes place, or it's not stringent. And it's something like you're not talking about somebody with 100,000. A small 100,000 YouTuber would be a small YouTube channel where you might do maybe a pre-interview to like make sure your ducks are in a row, but you're not doing any stringent vetting. But somebody bigger than that, you might do some vetting where you say, hey, okay, let's get a timeline. Let's establish a timeline, and then are there police reports, FBI filings, anything with the district attorney, any judicial proceedings, any newspaper articles? What names are you operating under? What names are they operating under? Let's like take a few days to try to establish a timeline that you kind of sign off on before we platform you to hundreds of thousands of people. It's like that would be a bit more stringent than just a pre-interview. That would be a little bit of a vetting. It's like you're not doing a background search, but you're doing something before you platform somebody on like a channel the size of Tim Pool. You'd want to do a little bit. And obviously you can't do that with everybody. But this isn't like a pop culture guy where you don't need to do that on somebody because he's not going to make accusations and it's not going to be involved with future charitable associations. Somebody like this is a little bit different of a situation, so there should be some vetting going on. So the thing is, what happens is they slowly kind of move up this right wing grifting ladder, and nobody does any vetting. Like other people started interviewing like Dr. Drew and Michael Malice and a bunch of these. There's dozens of these YouTubers in that range of hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're just kind of going on the assumption that the person before me did the vetting. And it's like it never happened. And I'm not saying that happened here specifically. And the left wing media does something similar. They do it with somebody will write like an opinion piece, and then it'll get cited as a foundation that they build this whole theory off of. But then when you trace it back to the original source, it's like it's just some garbage opinion piece. So what happened? Well, first of all, everybody deserves due process. And sometimes, like the people on the right can forget that just as well as the people on the left can forget that concept of like, well, what do you know? And just because everyone is dogpiling on this chick doesn't mean that they're right. People love getting clicks on YouTube. Clicks for big channels equals some serious money. So there's a temptation to get a little sloppy with the truth, a little sensational. Because a big video might be like worth $10,000 for them. A big video for this channel is worth $8, so I don't care. That was the last the Addams Family Wednesday, the TV show video. Anyway, so Eliza Bleu has got some questions associated with her that she could probably go on a live stream and clear up. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big deal, and she's got to be presumed innocent until there's proof. But apparently she was, I don't know what you call girls like her, no pun intended, a video girl, a rap music girl where they wear essentially, I don't know, hooker outfits, short shorts, that kind of thing, and dance around provocatively for a video, which, shouldn't, like that's just all music videos. That in itself is not just positive. And somebody pointed out that it looks like an advertisement for an alcohol service. I, of course, wouldn't know anything about that sort of stuff, but maybe it makes sense because the music wasn't very good. It sounded a little more like a backing track. So it was a YouTube video that was up for 6 years. Eliza Bleu, Worldstar Hip Hop, or no, I think she used Eliza Knows or something, and it had mediocre music, and she wasn't dancing. She was just writhing around. It was a pretty stupid video, honestly, because the music was mediocre, but the setting was really stupid. She was dancing around a tractor in a lumber yard, and you're just focused on the pretty girl, and the costume is so ridiculous, and it doesn't really connect with you that wait, this is a tractor tire, and there's like there's sheetrock and plywood all stacked up. This isn't a really sexy background. It's kind of weird. It just seems like you could find a better set to film in, like somebody's living room. All you really need is a couch, some black lights, and some reflectors. Anyway, so the video is up for years on YouTube and on the Worldstar site online, but it was taken down today. People had posted it on Rumble and Odyssey. I did myself. But if you posted the links on Twitter, she or her friends were getting those accounts locked. And that's not permanently suspended. It just means you have to remove the tweet and you sit out 24 hours or a week or something. It's not the end of the world. And it's fine if she gets the videos removed, because that's a business between her and the company that she's associated with, whoever produced those videos. And the videos are not important. They've been up for 6 years. It's long enough. It's not important anymore. But saying that the video is non-consensual and that reposting a link to a YouTube or a Worldstar hip hop that's been on for years, and then getting the Twitter accounts hit and locked until they remove links, which now don't go anywhere because all the videos have been taken down, is a bit weird. But was she responsible for that, or her friends responsible for that? I don't know. And it also seems like she has some friends at Twitter. Like, you can tell what the vibe is on Twitter, like who has some juice with Twitter and who doesn't. And it really seems like she has some pull with somebody at Twitter. So I don't know how well she knows Elon. So if the video is non-consensual, is what she's saying, or the image is non-consensual, what exactly does that mean? That somebody has a Liberty device to her head? Now, the other thing I want to say in her defense is that if she does have some trauma associated with this stuff, it's reasonable to assume that she might be a little weird about all this stuff. And no, I'm not terminally naive, but you got to look at both sides of the equation here, and argue both sides. Like everyone who's dogpiling on her literally might be in the wrong here, or it might be more complicated than that. So the other issue I look at is the totality of the circumstances. And I look at this with a lot of things. And I ask, is she doing more good than bad? I don't know what you'd call that, negotiable morals. But she brought a lot of attention to the trafficking issues and the child stuff that was on Twitter. She was tied in very closely with Elon Musk. They had each other's ears, and who knows, maybe more than that, if you're being honest about it. And somebody, like some naysayer, was on Twitter saying, like, oh, she just reposted stuff about trafficking. She's not doing anything. She's reposting stuff about trafficking that's getting eyeballs that weren't on it before. Like, it's just as simple as that. It's something that had been all but ignored on Twitter, and Elon Musk bought Twitter, and there's a bunch of child stuff on Twitter that had been overlooked, or under Yoel Roth had been allowed to take place. And Elon Musk buys Twitter, he fires half the staff, and suddenly him and this girl are cleaning this stuff up left and right. So I look at that, I look at the results. Oh, dog. Oh, hold on, dog. So they're cleaning up all this dark stuff on Twitter. Now, is your past 100% pure? Or, I don't know. Until I see evidence, it's got to remain in a state of unresolved. But if we assume that her past is shady in some ways, but right now she's actually doing good work and bringing attention to the situation, then, kind of shrug my shoulders. The trafficking story is a little loose. Was she a prostitute under duress? Did she work with the FBI? Does she want to track these guys down and handle the situation? Because she knows. Now she knows Elon Musk. If anyone knows people who can just disappear people, it's like, now you know the right people. So what if she was just a prostitute, and now she wants to help other girls to not go down that road? I'm not a moral purist. If she can take her own background and put it to good use, I would totally support that. But I'm not so eager to join in the dog pile and all gangbang on Eliza. And when I looked at the grifting things, I'm suddenly seeing orders of magnitude more attention being brought to this trafficking issue and the child stuff, and ending that is more important to me than having some virgin white angelic hero who's perfect in every way. She's ready for dinner. There are levels to grifting, and she actually is doing a lot of good work. She's not just taking donations for an express cause and commingling funds and ripping people off. She is doing something for the attention she's getting. So, I'm not a purist, and it's like I don't expect people who are casting some heroic light to be perfect. That would be like, if you're waiting for the perfect person to come along, the perfect hero to come along, you just can be waiting a long time. And as long as somebody's not an out-and-out grifter, but on the balance of the equation, she's bringing attention to an area that had not had attention brought to it. It's just as simple as it is for me. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys all next episode.